English news broadcasting service brought to you by Conference Network today, Tuesday, 6th of May 2017. For me, your daily English news host, Mr. Sajid Jalal, greeting with you. Islamic greeting. Assalamu alaikum. Warahmatullah. Headlines from the APN. Fearing attack, more Rohingyas fleeing to Bangladesh. Aung San Suu Kyi, the world is watching your treatment of religious freedom. Why does the West ignore the plight of the most persecuted people in the world? The detail are as follows. There is no record of exactly how many Rohingyas have entered Bangladesh in the last 3 months, as the authorities concerned stopped keeping a track of the influx after February. Despite the apparent ceasefire of the crackdown on Rohingyas by security forces in Myanmar, Rohingyas are still fleeing their home and crossing over to Bangladesh, fearing further attack. In the last 3 months, a number of Rohingya families have entered Bangladesh through Cox's Bazar and have taken refuge at different villages in the districts Teknaf, Upazila. Some 8 to 10 small settlements of the refugees can be found along the Cox's Bazar, Teknaf Marine Drive. I got on an engine board with some 12 to 14 other Rohingyas and came here Teknaf in March, said Nur Hashim, one of the new refugees who came from Basora village of Mongdoi, town of North Rakhine State, home to the minority Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar. There is no data on exactly how many Rohingyas have entered Bangladesh in the last 3 months, as the officials concerned stopped keeping count after February this year, said Sanjukta Sahani, head of International Organization of Migration (IOM) office in Cox's Bazar. The international community won't accept inaction or excuses from the Aung San Suu Kyi-led government this time. What level officials tried to charge and prosecute Muslims who organized and participated in a public prayer session on May 31st in Taketa Township are further evidence of the Myanmar government's failure to protect religious freedom. Since that day, local police and ward officials in Yangon have been consistently harassing the threatening members of the Muslim community with criminal charges and fines because they dared assemble in the street to hold prayers during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. These actions by local officials are an outrage that should be urgently overloaded by senior leaders in the General Administration Department, or failing that, the Minister of Home Affairs. If the ministry refuses to act within days to seize this threat of charges, then as a de facto head of the government, Aung San Suu Kyi should step in the protect freedom of conscience and religion. Human Rights Watch also calls for immediate action to revoke the government discriminatory laws and regulation on the practice of religion that are frequently applied to minority religious community. Obscure discriminatory regulations used to prevent the construction or repair of religious structures such as mosques and Christian churches should be rescinded immediately. Mosques and madrasas that have been forcibly shuttered should be immediately reopened, and religious believers should not be threatened or criminally charged simply for exercising their fundamental right to observe the practice their religion. Media continues to ignore a horrible ongoing genocide of the Rohingya Muslim population in the country of Myanmar, formerly known as Burma. While it is indisputable that the Rohingya people have been living in Myanmar for generations, the Myanmar government continues to dispute the Rohingya people's status as permanent citizens. The majority of the Rohingya population lives in the northern part of the Rakhine State in western Myanmar. Has a population in the neighborhood of 1 million to 1.3 million. People in power sometimes effectively use fear to control and manipulate their population. The military dictatorship of General Nguyen Vel such as atmosphere encouraging but this ultranationalism among the public and a feeling of tribalism, xenophobia and bigotry encouraged by an institutionalized racism against the Rohingyas. In 1982, the Burmese government had enacted a citizenship law known as the Burmese Nationality Law that rendered the Rohingya population as an illegal immigrant and made them stateless, denied citizenship, a type of apartheid developed, making official policies of segregation and discrimination. The majority of Rohingya population lives in villages that do not have basic schools, and even if they achieve elementary education, they are not allowed to get higher education. They require papers when traveling to neighboring villages, even if for a simple overnight stay. They are not allowed to formally participate in the country's economy, placing the minority in deep poverty. Rohingyas need the permission of the state authorities to get married and usually have to pay a large fee, which they often cannot afford. Malnourishment among the children also continues to this day. A pro-democracy movement led by Aung San Suu Kyi rose to prominence in 1988 as she became General Secretary of the National League for Democracy, NLD. The NLD won 81% of the parliamentary seat in a 1990 election, which the military nullified and then placed Aung San Suu Kyi under house arrest. For 15 years, there was a huge international outcry, and Aung San Suu Kyi was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1990. In 2010, the President Obama lifted all economic sanctions when the Aung San Suu Kyi's house arrest was lifted and democratic reforms were allowed. While the military still retains considerable amount of the power, Aung San Suu Kyi became state councillor, a role similar to that of Prime Minister. Unfortunately, like many Nobel Peace Prize winners, it is quite questionable if the recipient really deserved the awards. And Aung San Suu Kyi led pro-democracy reform for the majority Buddhist population, but kept the Rohingya population stateless and unable to participate in the democracy. Sectarian violence by the Buddhist population on the Rohingya population amplified in 2012 with the Rakhine State riot and has been ongoing ever since. So this is enough for today from APN English News Service. Thank you for watching our APN News. Please stay tuned for more updates. They are still to come up next as every day, as usual, by the help of different news agencies from around the world. Come again, bye bye. See you for the cause of the nation. If you like our APN, please subscribe us by through the YouTube, and for more and detail about our APN, please visit our website as www.arkanpressnetwork.com.